Welcome to episode 1 of Tiny Dr. Tim's watercolor vlog. 45 years ago, I performed poorly in a watercolor class that I took at Cabrillo Junior College in Aptos, California. There are several reasons that could explain why I performed poorly, but I think the most relevant one is that I was rather impatient. 45 years later, as a semi-retired college professor, I am much more patient. And the good news is those watercolors that I bought 45 years ago are still good. So 2 years ago, I joined a group of people who get together every Tuesday morning at the Hopewell train station to paint. All are more accomplished artists than I, and so I benefit from hanging out with them. 1 year ago, I painted a watercolor of Williamson Hall at Westminster Choir College, and I posted a copy of it on my Instagram account, and then I produced cards that I gave to my former students who were graduating that May 2018. And since then, quite recently, one of my former students and a current friend asked how she might commission me to create a scene, a Westminster scene for her to hang in her home. And I said, we could make that happen. And she responded by saying, I cannot wait. But actually, given the fact that I seem to be making progress and each successive painting looks a little bit better than the one before that, the longer she waits, the better the painting she might get. But I have spoken to Pete Borg, who is the campus photographer for Rider University and Westminster Choir College, and asked him that he must have somewhere a whole collection of scenes of Westminster Choir College. And he said he doesn't have anything kind of neatly archived, but he'd put something together for me, but it might take a little while. So the questions now are, what scene does my client want? And then possibly what size of a watercolor painting, and then there could be some question about the style in which it is painted. So I think I'm going to spend the rest of this vlog demonstrating some of my recent work and talk a little bit about my notions of what would be the appropriate style of whatever is painted from Westminster Choir College. But since the customer is always right, I will leave it up to my client's decision as to exactly what approach I should take, since this is my first commission and I want to get it right. All right, I am now going to go through a sort of historical account of my recent watercolor works. So this is the one that I started with. This was the first painting that I did of Williamson Hall at Westminster Choir College. It is from a photograph. And then shortly after that, I took a 2-day workshop down at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts and produced a couple of works that I like. And so this first one is a Pennsylvania farmhouse. And all of my successful work initially resulted from me copying somebody else's watercolors. This is one of my favorites. It is a copy of an Australian watercolorist by the name of Joseph Zbukvich. So after I learned some things from that, I then did a second version of Williamson Hall, and that is the one that will be the graduation card for people graduating here in 2019. I then moved on and started painting birds, and so here is a painting of, it is called An American Redstart, and I kind of like that one. It has a Asian feel to it in terms of its balance. And then the one that I'm most pleased with is a painting of a kestrel, and so this one here I like a lot also. I particularly like this combination of blue and orange. Then I recently started doing some more architectural work. So here are two that are copies of an artist from Singapore. I like this one, except it's a little bit muddy. I like this one a lot more, and once again, I like this collection of colors, and I like the contrast. And then this is probably my favorite architectural work. No, this is my second favorite. And what I like about this is its looseness and its sort of impressionism. And then my most recent works, I live near the College of New Jersey, and so these are buildings over there. That one I kind of like, but I like this one quite a bit more. And what I like about this one is the dramatic sort of angle of it. But finally, my favorite one that I have done, which is a copy of somebody else's work, it's called Cows at Church, and it's after a painter by the name of Darrell Bryant. And so this is something that I like, but it might not be what my client is looking for. And then finally, I have one that I did not do, but I bought in Edinburgh a couple years ago, and it's the famous St. Giles Cathedral. And I really love this one. I love the contrast, the colors, the impressionistic style. So I think that's enough for now. I'm going to attach this content to the earlier content and then look forward to hearing from my client about her preferences.